Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Keith, and I'm bringing to you my review of the season finale of The Walking Dead. We just finished up with the 6th season. The episode was called The Last Day on Earth, and it absolutely blew my mind. Now, for those of you who haven't watched The Walking Dead, very quickly, this is a TV show based on a comic book about people living through the zombie apocalypse. Now, if you haven't seen the show, it's on Netflix. I strongly suggest you get involved with it because it is picking up steam like crazy. Now, this 6th season, like most AMC shows, were divided in two. You had like the first 8 episodes, and then you had the last 8 episodes. The first 8 episodes of season 6, in all honesty, in my opinion, weren't that exciting. I think the most exciting episode was the character Morgan's backstory and understanding how he came to be, and I thought that was an enjoyable episode. But the first 8, very, very slow moving. Well, let me tell you something, brothers and sisters. They sure made up for that on the back half. The season 8 premiere started with a bang, and we were off to the races. And the question that has been seeming to plague all Walking Dead fans is, when is Negan going to show up? Now, of course, from the trailer for this week's episode that we saw last week, we knew it was going to be today. Now, before I get into tonight's episode, I want to talk about the show as a whole. And I think as a whole, again, completely underrated show. I don't know what the Emmy voters are doing. How can you be overlooking this show? It is phenomenal. And I think the last 8 episodes really are a testament to the exceptional writing on the show. I don't find it as consistent as Breaking Bad. I find that it's either really good or it's really, really slow. And the first half, again, was really, really slow, but right now, it's really freaking good. In this show, one of the things that you realize is that the greatest adversary to our characters isn't necessarily the zombies that are out there trying to eat them and kill them. It's other humans, because as we've seen over time, when there's no law and order, it's just absolute anarchy and chaos. Back in season 3, we had the governor, who we thought was a really diabolical character. They dealt with the governor. Then we moved into, I want to say, end of season 4, beginning of season 5, and they went to Terminus, and they dealt with a group of people that were, cannibals and that sort of thing. And it was very interesting kind of watching how they dealt with that situation and thinking to yourself, okay, they could probably get out of it, to this situation that they're in now, thinking, how in the world are they going to get out of it? So this season finale was fantastic for so many reasons. First of all, it was a 90-minute episode, maybe a little unnecessary, but in that 90 minutes, we saw a big cat and mouse game between the saviors and between our heroes. Rick and the gang were trying to get to the hilltop to get some much-needed medical attention for Maggie, who's pregnant and who wasn't doing very well. But it seems every long road that they were coming down, the saviors had set up a roadblock, and then all of a sudden they had to retreat and go the other way. Now, at the beginning of the episode, Rick had a confrontation with one of the saviors. And it was interesting because Rick kind of took this kind of cocky attitude like, we don't want to kill you. Well, kill any more of you. And careful what you wish for, because then later on in the episode, he's faced, and all of a sudden we're seeing, and this is a great job by Andrew Lincoln, by the way, the man who plays Rick. Phenomenal job from going from acting like cocky, I'm the best, you can't touch me, to holy jeez, I'm wetting my pants because you guys all have us surrounded and we could die. I think the cast did a fantastic job bringing the wonderful words and the writing of Scott Gimple to life in this episode, and I think they did a really good job with that. The episode was extremely well directed. Fantastic job by Jeffrey Dean Morgan playing Negan. I know a lot of my female friends are very excited. It's like Daryl's finally got some competition. But taking away from that, this episode was absolutely intense, because we're usually seeing our heroes in a situation where they might not have full control, but things are going to turn out okay. You don't get that feeling coming into this break now, because one of them is going to die. Negan lines them all up. He basically plays a game of meeny, miny, mo, and as expected, from the point of view of the person being killed, he takes out his barbed wire baseball bat, Lucille, and bashes somebody's head in. And I know some people aren't happy about that. Some people are like, oh, I don't like it. I love it, and I'll tell you why. We need to come back to the cliffhanger. Cliffhangers used to be such a staple on television, and we went away from them. This is going to give people something to be excited about, something to talk about. People are going to be going through all sorts of, debates and theories on who's going to get killed and who isn't going to get killed. For myself, a couple of people I think it could be Abraham. I think it could be Daryl. I think Norman Reedus might want to go off and make some movies. It could be Glenn. In the comics, it's Glenn, but I think that would be too predictable. I don't think it's going to be any of the female characters. Not that I'm sexist. I just have a hard time seeing AMC bashing in a female character's head with a barbed wired baseball bat, especially when one of them is pregnant. And another thing is, this show has so many strong female characters. I don't necessarily think one's going to get offed, at least not in that manner. What I can say is that this season finale, got me so excited for the 7th season of The Walking Dead. I'm watching this episode, and I'm so glad that they had the Talking Bad episode after, which is the TV show that airs after Walking Dead. It gives the opportunity for crew and cast to kind of discuss the episode. I'm so glad that aired after, because I left that episode thinking, oh my god, this Negan guy is crazy. So it's good to see Jeffrey Dean Morgan back as a regular human being, because his character was so richly written. I mean, here is a guy who's evil. He's the personification of evil, but he's also cool. Like, he comes out and he's just not this terrorizing figure. Like, there's a method to his madness. He's like, you killed my people, so I gotta kill your people too. I mean, it's twisted, but in that world it makes sense. There are repercussions for your actions, so I totally get it. Loved this episode. Can't wait for it to come back in the fall. Predictions are gonna be going rampant in terms of who is it, who could it be. The only people we know that it's not is, we know it's not Carl, because he says if anybody moves, rip out the other eye and give it to his father, which of course means it can't be Rick either. So we've at least taken the two of them out. Fantastic episode. I would love to hear what you guys thought about it. Did you like the cliffhanger? Did you like the build-up? I thought it was a very intense episode. I think it's probably the most intense situation that they've been put in, and I can't wait to see what happens. I think Negan's going to be around for a long time. I know somebody had mentioned to me in conversation that, oh, they'll just, take him out. Did you see the amount of people Negan has in his crew? They're not taking him out anytime soon. And I don't think Jeffrey Dean Morgan signed on for like 2 or 3 episodes. I think he's going to be there for at least all of next season, and probably into the 8th season as well. Let me know what you thought about this. I loved it. Mind blown. CFL_fan on Twitter, Facebook.com/WittyWhittier, and WittyWhittier.com. Oh, and since we're doing an episode recap, of course, Carol went through her whole I kind of want to die and Morgan saved her. I guess I should mention that. Again, I don't see Carol dying anytime soon. I think there'd just be a huge revolt. There's a huge uproar when she's not on screen for a couple episodes. Can you imagine if they killed her? And plus, they need to have somebody around for them for Rick and his crew to count on. So we'll see what happens. But I'm extremely excited. I thought that The Walking Dead might be jumping the shark. It totally hasn't. Totally on track, and hopefully they can carry on this momentum in season number 7. Thank you so much for checking this out. My name is Keith, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.